At a time in life when many people expect you to slow down, sit still, and surrender to decline, I decided to do the opposite. I moved to another country. At 80, I chose to begin again in a new land with a new language and an entirely new rhythm of life. Not because it was easy, but because it was necessary for my spirit, for my growth, and for my own sense of what is possible in later life. We often associate aging with loss of mobility, of memory, of relevance. But I see aging as an opportunity to expand, not shrink. Yes, when the body slows down, the mind can follow, if we let it. But I don't want to let it. I believe that even in our later years, we can continue to challenge ourselves, remain curious, and stay open to connection. Moving to a new country is my way of refusing to settle into limitation. Some might call it reckless. I call it courageous because I'm not just proving to others that life can begin again at any age, I'm proving it to myself. Starting over at 80 doesn't mean starting from zero. I bring with me a lifetime of experienced love, learning, heartbreak, healing, and joy. I have already walked through many chapters, raised a family, traveled the world, built a career, created a home. But I realize that comfort can sometimes quietly turn into stagnation, and I didn't want to fall into that quiet resignation where we stop expecting anything new from life. So I packed my belongings, said my goodbyes, and stepped into the unknown. It isn't always glamorous. There are moments of deep vulnerability, asking for help to understand a word, struggling with a new cultural norm, missing the familiar scent of home. I stumble over the language, sometimes literally, but every new phrase I learn is a tiny act of defiance against the idea that old dogs can't learn new tricks. I learn because I want to stay alive in the deepest sense of the word. I've had to find a new grocery store, new neighbors, new routines. Everything I once did on autopilot now requires effort and attention. But that's the gift. Nothing is taken for granted. The ordinary becomes extraordinary when you have to rebuild it from the ground up. And there's something humbling, even beautiful, about being a beginner again. In this new country, I've seen how kindness transcends language, how curiosity builds bridges, and how age is not a barrier unless we build it ourselves. I've met people who see me not as an old woman, but as a fellow traveler, a learner, a friend. In turn, I remind them, perhaps silently, that it's never too late to reinvent, to relocate, to live fully. This move isn't a denial of aging. It's a declaration that aging can be active, not passive. It can be filled with reinvention, not just reflection. I still honor the quiet joys, a cup of tea, a call from family, a good book. But I also choose to push my boundaries because I believe that's what keeps the soul young. What I've learned is this: the real challenge of aging is not the number of years we carry, but how we carry them. Do we carry them as weights or as wings? I choose wings. If you're reading this and wondering if it's too late to do something brave, let me tell you, it isn't. You don't have to move across the world. Sometimes courage looks like learning a new skill, joining a new group, or starting a new conversation. But if there's a voice inside you whispering that there's more life waiting, listen to it. That voice is hope. That voice is vitality. At 80, I chose to trust it, and I've never felt more alive. How do you feel about starting a new chapter at 80? Share your plans for change in the comments. Age is just a number.